So our next task is to add a title, 3 paragraphs of text, and copyright information to your web page, and stylize them. So if I haven't mentioned before, if you go up here to task number 1 and you click on task number 1, it will take you to the written version of this lesson series. Right? So if you don't like watching the videos, you can go ahead and go through this. But if we go ahead and scroll down, this is the text, and this is the title here that I want you to put in. Here's a quote, 3 paragraphs, and then we can put in some copyright information at the bottom. Right? So what I can do is just go ahead and copy this, and let's see, what's the task? Okay, and then we come back to our index.html, and in the body we're going to paste all that information in. Okay. And of course we want to keep everything nice and indented correctly. All of this text is inside of the body, so that's why we indent it to where the body is, and then we indent it once more, right, to signify that it is in between the beginning of the body and the end of the body. Okay, but now if we go ahead and preview this, you'll see that HTML does not respect any of the new lines that you type in the IDE. Okay, so how do we make HTML give us a new line here? Well, the tag that we use to do that is called BR. So you're going to put in the 2 carets and type in BR, and I'll hit Command S, Command R. You see that? I get a return, and it's BR stands for break return. And I want to actually have an extra space because I want a space between the title and this quote. So there we go. And then I want a space in between the quote and the first paragraph. Right? So I'm going to copy those 2 BRs and put them here and here and here. So I'll save that, refresh it. So looking better. Another thing that we can do is we want to make sure that these 2 elements are centered. Right? So how can we do that? We can come here to the front of the title and type in center. That's the beginning of the center, and then we say end of the center. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and copy this, and I'll put the same thing right down here for the quote. So I'll save that and I'll refresh it. Okay, so it's looking kind of nicer, right? And remember the H1, H2, H3s that we worked with before? Well, this might be a good time to use them. So I want the title to be bigger than the quote, and I want the quote to be bigger than the paragraph. So how can I do that? Well, around the Mio motto, I'm going to use H1, which signifies the biggest type of header that we can use. And around the quote, I'm going to use H2, which is a slightly smaller text. So let's go ahead and save that and see how that looks. Come over here and refresh, and that's what we get. So now I'm thinking that the space here is a little bit too much. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to delete one of those BRs here and here. So I'll save that and I will refresh. Okay, looks a little bit better. And yeah, I think that's about it. So just to recap, what we did is we copied and pasted the text that was found in the written version of the tutorial, and we used the center tag to center the title, and we also used the center tags, right, the beginning tag and the ending tag, to center the quote. We used BRs, break returns, in order to get space in between. And actually, I think a better way of instead of using BR is to use the P. So the H1 and H2 actually put space in between on the top and bottom of the headers. So we actually don't need those BRs. And this here is a paragraph. So what we can use is the P tag, which signifies a paragraph. So the beginning of the paragraph, and here is the end of the paragraph. And what paragraph does, if I come over here and I show you, is it puts space above and below what's inside of the tags. So I'm going to do that same thing, And I'm going to do it right here and right here. So those are the beginning tags. And I'm going to put my ending tag there and there. And of course, I want to make sure everything is indented properly. And this is the paragraph that is inside of these two tags. So I'm going to tab those two guys in, and I'll save it. Come back over here and refresh. And this is what we want.